What's up, Aquarius? Welcome. Let's see what general messages Spirit has for you for the month of October. What general messages does Spirit have for you in the month of October? Let's see what messages Spirit has for you. Okay, so you have the Two of Castles. Castles in this deck are coins. The Empress, Chariot, Sun, Justice, the Nine of Candles. Candles are wands in this deck. And lastly, the Lovers. Nice. All right. So with the Two of Castles, so the Empress to the Chariot, I see you guys currently in a situation or will be in a situation in the month of October where you are being guided to move forward gracefully. Whether this is going to be a work situation or a love situation or a platonic situation, family situation, whatever, place it where it fits. At the end of the day, you are being guided to move forward gracefully, right? Like you're kind of in your head about what your next move should be. And the way I see it is like this. If you guys are in any kind of altercation or just in your head about something to the point where it's stressing you out, you're being asked to step into your emperor mode, right? And what that usually means to me, what that tells me whenever the Empress or the Emperor comes out is, imagine this Emperor and this Empress, right? They're sitting on this throne at the top of a hill and they're being surrounded by people. They don't just get up for any little thing, right? Like emperors and empresses are very graceful. They're royal, right? So it's like, you don't need to be the person that needs to stand up and get in everybody's face or even face something that doesn't really require the majority of your energy. So it's like you need to use your discernment and really decide if whatever it is that you're stressing over or whatever it is that you're currently going through, is it even your problem? So like by that, for example, let's say you've got a friend that's going through a really hard time and at the same time you're going through a really hard time. Like, do you want to just add their burdens to your plate? Or do you go, look, like I'm here to be a shoulder to cry on and I'll listen to what you have to say, but again, you're not being asked to solve their problem, right? So don't feel that obligation that you have to figure out a solution for other people when you yourself are looking for your own solution, right? Like don't put your needs on the back burner for other people. And I know that that's hard to do because like, you know, family, friends, people that we care about, we want to be there for them. But at the same time too, like you're an air sign, right? So you tend to use logic over heart a lot of the time. So again, you're being asked to just be graceful in whatever situation that you want to move forward in. So that could also be too, let's say for example, you start a side hustle and it's doing really, really good and like you're about to quit, right? Like don't be that boastful person that's like, yeah, you know, I'm making money, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, haha, like I'm gonna leave, like, you know what I mean? Like it's one thing to be proud of yourself, it's another thing to like brag about it to a point where it just comes off very like scummy. And so again, you're just being asked to be graceful about what your forward movement is, right? Because what you have the what you're going towards is the Sun, right? The Justice and the Nine of Candles, right? To the Lovers. Again, if this is a business endeavor, this is something that you are going to love, something that you were made to do, something that was meant to find you in this lifetime. Like if you are really, really enamored with an idea, you should be, because this idea was meant to find you in this lifetime. And so therefore, not only is it going to bring you happiness and abundance, but this is karmic justice, right? So in my opinion, I find that when we tend to find the things that we love in this lifetime, it is a karmic debt that is owed to us. And so therefore, that's why it's justice. And when I think justice too, I think of like spirit guides. I think about God. I think about ancestors, right? So I think about like the higher ups in the higher realms, and that's just them ensuring that this is what you get, right? That's what justice is. It's making sure this is what you get. And so for those of you where this is a business endeavor, move gracefully, be modest, and no matter how much you make or the status it gives you, be humble, right? Because as quickly as you are, maybe not as quickly. So for some of us, finding what you love in this lifetime took you so long to get there. Don't throw it away with your pride and your ego, right? Because it took you so long to get there that a lot of the time pride and ego is the majority of people's downfall. So again, be modest, be humble, remain not warm, but like just remain like you essentially, right? Like you got yourself there. No need to lose yourself in the sauce of life. For those of you where this is a love situation, you've been in your head about whether or not to move forward with this Empress. Some of you have actually found somebody that is a energetic match to you, and this has been something that's been completely different. Some of you are dating someone older than you. Some of you are older than them. So that could be something that's new and different. But either way, you're in your head about this love situation because you're like, is this too good to be true? Like, this person doesn't annoy me, right? Aquariuses get annoyed pretty easily. This person doesn't annoy me. This person actually does make me happy. This person, you know, you're like checking all the boxes, and you're like you're finally done checking all the boxes. You're like, wait, so what do I do with the box? Right? So that's where you're in your head. You're like, I'm trying to figure out how to move forward. But I do see you guys moving forward into a very beautiful time, with the Sun to the Justice to the Nine of Candles. You guys are determined to make sure that this is an everlasting love. Okay, like Nine of Candles, like I said, they're wands. So like Nine of Wands doesn't have to be a negative card. It can be a positive card. And saying that you are determined to make something happen because you have been the wounded warrior in the past. We all have, right? And so I think that's something to keep in mind, is that like when you meet somebody, doesn't matter who you meet in a romantic sense, like we've all been hurt. We've all been there. And so if you've healed and you've done the work, then there's no need to question whether or not this is something that you deserve. And there's no need to question whether or not they deserve you, right? That's what the healing's for. So for those of you that are in question about a relationship that might seem too good to be true, continue to move slow if that's how you feel. Continue to move at a pace where you feel comfortable enough to have already assessed the situation that you're in, to the point where you no longer have that question of whether or not this person is for you. For the rest of you that are healed, I see you guys getting into or staying or progressing into a long-term fated relationship, and you know, you deserve it. You did the work, so you deserve it. All right, let's see what other messages you have here. Spirit, what messages do you have for the sign of Aquarius? What messages do you have for the sign of Aquarius at this point in time? So you got the Death card, you got the Six of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, that's your energy, you have the Ace of Wands, and you have the Eight of Wands. At the bottom, the Page of Pentacles. Let me pull one more card. And then lastly, the King of Swords. True pair situation. So with the Death card to the Six of Pentacles to the Queen of Swords, again, some of you could be in situations where you feel that you have to kind of put your foot down and really set up boundaries because something isn't being played fairly in whatever situation, love, work, whatever have you, right? So a lot of you are wanting to put an end to situations where you feel like you are putting too much of your energy and time in. So I see a lot of you really being straightforward with people that probably deserve it, I see you setting your boundaries. I see people not understanding why all of a sudden you're acting like this, but it's been a long time coming, right? And so for the lot of you that are going through that situation, I see that once you set those boundaries with the Ace of Wands to the Eight of Wands to the King of Swords, you're gonna start to, once you cut off those, okay, so once you set those boundaries with those people that you no longer want to give your time and energy to because you realize that the situation is unfair, I see you being blessed with people that are like an energetic match to you, right? You guys are on the same vibration. So I see you moving forward and this blessing comes quickly. It's almost like, for some of you, it's almost like breaking up with someone today and then meeting your future spouse tomorrow. Like that's in, I just got chills. Chills always tells me that I'm saying something truthful. So for some of you, if this is a love situation, I see you setting up your boundaries. I see you walking away from this connection. And then I see you like in the very near future, meeting someone that is your true match, right? Because you have the Queen of Swords to the King of Swords. So again, if you're cutting a group of people off and you're like contemplating whether or not to do it, either way, you're going to hit your last straw, okay? And you're going to do it. But if you're worried about what that's going to look like, I wouldn't, because essentially by you doing that, you're kind of showing the universe like, okay, like bring me my people, bring me the people that understand me, that are going to give the way that I give. Or, you know, people that are going to understand me to the point where like I like talking shit or making jokes and people are always offended around me. And so then you meet a group of people that are just like you and they're not offended. And you're just like, oh my God, where have you guys been my whole life? Like it's like a serendipitous moment when you meet these people. And for those of you where this is a relationship, it's that moment where you're like, oh my God, like I wish I had I known that I was going to meet you today of all days and I just broke up with so-and-so yesterday. You know, I would have prepared all week. I would have broke up with them on Monday and like been good for you by Saturday, you know, that kind of thing. So you're like really excited and it just rejuvenates and it ignites you in a way where you're like, man, like finally, like it's a breath of fresh air. For others of you, if you have been in an unfair situation, I see like new beginnings, right? So I see you still no matter what, okay, across the board, you're setting boundaries. And once you set those boundaries, either people are going to be upset for some of you, and for others of you, people are going to be like, you know what, with the death card, right? Because it also talks about rebirth, so new beginnings. People are like, you know what, you're right. Like, I have been a shitty friend, or I haven't been fair, or whatever. So it puts people in their place to the point where they want to start to prove themselves to you, that they are worthy of your friendship, of your attention, of your time. And so in turn, that turns into a blessing where you're going to see this big turnaround, where you're going to be reminded, like, this is why I was your friend to begin with. This is why I saw that commonality with you. So like, again, it becomes like this big pivotal moment with the Ace of Wands, right? It becomes illuminated. You're like, okay, these aren't bad people. I just need to communicate better, or it was just a misunderstanding, or I should have said something sooner, right? So there's a realization. So for some of you, you're getting rid of old friends and you're walking into a new group of friends. Others of you, your friends are getting their shit together because you're finally putting your foot down. And either way, it becomes copacetic. You guys move forward in love and light. And unfortunately, I had to take you cutting people off or telling them off, whatever it is you have to do. But you get what you want in the end. So nothing wrong in that. All right, let's look at your finances for the month of October. All right. Okay, interesting. Cards, you've got the Ten of Swords, you've got the Two of Cups, you've got the Four of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, and at the bottom you have the Moon, which is revealing the Magician. So when it comes to your finances this month, I see you guys kind of tightening up a little bit. You're definitely you're definitely stopping like really bad spending habits. You're really like you're gonna start budgeting. You're really gonna start to find the value in money. Some of you, you get a job this month that pays you really, really well. And so it's your first time ever making this kind of money. And so you're like, yeah, I don't want to end up here where I'm like buying mindlessly and I end up broke, and you know, next thing you know, like I don't have enough, right? So from what I'm seeing is a lot of you are either looking at your bank account and going, yeah, I really need to stop spending like that. Others of you, like I said, you get a new job. Some of you might be getting a promotion. Either way, this happens quickly. So it's almost like, let's say this weekend you get paid, you go out, come Monday, you're like, I really need to stop doing that shit. And so you do. You cut it off. And if anything, with the moon to the magician, it just shows me like you're going to try to manifest a way, whether that's through budgeting, whether that's through being frugal, whether that's through just being mindful and not spending as much on bad habits. That could be anything. You find a way to pretty much create more money for yourself. So again, I mean, if you're not spending over here, that means you're saving over there. So that kind of thing, right? Others of you, like I said, you're making more money. There is promotion here. I see that with the Two of Cups. You're like finally equal, like give and take. Some of you have been at your job for a while, or some of you like every year you get a raise and you've been looking forward to it, but like you guys, it's more than what you anticipated. So there could be bonuses as well you guys didn't even know about, that could be coming in. But again, I see you quickly just putting to an end any bad spending habits, anything that hinders your money this month. So, and you know, holidays are coming up. So it could just be you like going like, okay, I got 2 months before Christmas. I got to start saving, right? Got to start saving for gifts. All right, let's see what you have in love here for the month of October. I wanted to say November. So some of you might be experiencing some kind of new partnership in November. But for now, for the rest of you, all right. Interesting. All right, so you have the Ace of Pentacles to the Six of Swords, to the Ace of Swords, to the World, to the Nine of Cups, sorry, the Six of Cups. And at the bottom, you have the Two of Swords and the King of Cups. Some of you, you do have new love coming in with the Ace of Pentacles, right? Aces talk about brand new. So you do have a new love situation coming in because you chose to move forward to calmer waters and you were given clarity about your past situations. And so a new cycle ensues for you in love. And for some of you, it could be a past life situation. I'm not going to be the reader that says this is an ex. I could be the reader that's wrong. But I don't know why. I sense that this is someone that you've known for a really, really long time, but you do not have any kind of romantic past with this person. I feel like this could be like a longtime friend that maybe you had a crush on when you were a kid. They've had a crush on you since you were since you guys were kids. It is something of that nature. I sense platonic. So for those of you that have been wondering where your, where your Prince Charming or your Princess Charming has been, well, you've known them for a really long time. You just never saw them like that. So I feel for some of you, you're being guided to really look at being open-minded at this point in time. Because again, like once we friend zone people, it's really hard for us to take them out of that zone. I'm not saying this has to be your best friend, right? Some of you, it could be, it will be. For others of you, that's just not gonna happen, right? Your best friend is your best friend. So, for those of you where this is a new love situation with someone from your past, it is guided. This is something that is meant to happen. You guys are meant to have a completely new cycle outside of your already dynamic. And so I just really see this being the start of a really beautiful and long connection if that's what you're looking for. For others of you that want it to be your ex, I mean, I guess. No. Some of you have an opportunity to move forward and in a new love situation, but like an ex could come back and you're being put in that situation where you have to decide if this is something that you want to entertain all over again. You've already been shown the truth, right? So I'm going backwards. So it's like you've dealt with this person from your past, right? And you have an opportunity to start a new cycle with them, but it could be the same cycle, right? So you have to use discernment. Like if you guys have been stop and start for a really long time, guess what? It's going to be the same thing, right? And this is the truth because you've been shown the clarity. You've been shown who this person is and why this person is the way that they are. And then being that you were given that clarity, you were given the choice to move forward, right? The calmer waters, to move away from the situation because you do have new love. So moving forward, if you choose to leave this past situation, you do have a new love coming in. For some of you, it is in the form of someone that you've known for a really long time. And for those of you who are spiritual and believe in past life connections, this is definitely a past life connection. So this could be someone completely brand new. You've never even met them, at least not in this lifetime, right? So there's that. Either way, when I read it backwards, when you left the past, the cycles and all that, it's still guiding you to new love, right? And same thing, when you move forward, you have this opportunity. So that's how I see it. If you move forward, you're moving towards something that's beautiful and fated and meant for you. Looking backwards, you could end up in these same cycles that are going to make you really want to move away. No matter what, though, I do see you moving away from the situation. So even if you give your ex another chance, I see you kind of going like, forget this. Like, I want to move forward. And once you decide to make that decision, you will be in the correct alignment for the person you're meant to be with. Or if you're not meant to be with that new person, it's still a long-term relationship that's on the horizon for you. All right, let's get you some oracle cards and send you on your way, children. All right, what messages or challenges does Aquarius have for the month of October? All right, cool. All right, so you have book, water, celebration. From what I'm getting from these three random ass cards, some of you are just chilling at home, like for the majority of October. You guys are just kind of chilling at home. You're hydrating. You're watching scary movies. You're watching old movies. You're watching movies in general. You're watching TV shows, whatever, right? This brings you peace. As chaotic as all this is, but honestly, I mean, it's Halloween season, right? So for some of you, you're going out, you're having a great time. Look at her. She's just, I don't know what she's doing. As scared as she looks pretty freaking happy, right? But who knows? Either way, I see you guys just kind of like chilling this month, not really being out. I see you guys just kind of like for what? I'm gonna go out unless I really, really want to or need to. So yeah, I see you guys just really toning it down this month, which could be why you're actually going to start saving more money, if we had to go back and clarify that. For others of you, you might have some car issues because in this depiction here, there's a car on fire. I'm not saying your car is going to explode or anything like that, but you might have some like engine problems. You might need an oil change, just something simple, don't let it go so far as to where, you got to get rid of the whole thing. Like, don't push it to that limit. For others of you, some of you that have kids, you're just spending more time with your kids this month. You guys are doing arts and crafts. You're watching Halloween-based TV shows. Like, you're just being that parent this month. With water always signifies emotion for me. So again, these are just more like you're doing things that are going to be more emotionally fulfilling than not. So for some of you, you're just spending more time with family, you're spending more time with friends, you're spending more time by yourself. Because some of you are just like, I'm tired of going out. It's always a mess. Like, you know, so-and-so's always being defensive. She's like, don't touch me. This girl right here is like, help me, I'm about to throw up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, your friends are always everywhere. And so you kind of just want to take a break and be like, look, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stay home. It's Halloween season. I'm down to go to a couple parties, but if you bitches are going to be acting crazy, I'm just going to like be over here. So I'm not about it. So a lot of you are avoiding situations where there's chaos. Like, you're kind of over it is what I'm sensing. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one.